Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. In today's class, as we know that in our last class we already completed the most important chapter. The important chapter name is the input and output operators. As we know that the meaning of the input operator, that is called as the SIN, and here we are using the operator. The operator is called as the stream extraction operator, and also our output operator using cout, and such operator is also called as the stream insertion operator. And already we know how to write the program just by using the solution algorithm as well as the flowchart, and also by completing the program. Correct no kya? Okay. Now in today's class we are going to complete the next chapter. Chapter 10, the name of the chapter control statements. Okay, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಹೊಸ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 10 ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. The name of the chapter is called as the control statements. Okay, now what about the introduction in case of the control statements here? So we can say that maybe sometime or maybe in very simply I want to tell the meaning of the control statement here. Always we are not going to write the program one by one. It should execute the statement one by one. Correct no? Sometime maybe in program we are going to take some of the decisions, or sometime the program going to join to the left side, or sometime the program going to join to the right side here. So anywhere, that means whatever the programs are there, or all the program of the C++ program here not going to execute one after the another. Correct no? In our sequential manner, that means one after the another. So just only I want to start the meaning for our control statement here. A program is usually not limited to a, or we can say that in this case a program is usually not limited to a sequence of instructions. Correct no kya? The meaning I already said about our sequence of instructions here. The meaning of sequence means one after the another. Sometime program not going to execute here. Sometime or during it process, or while going to execute the program, maybe sometime we are going to take some of the decisions, or sometime the program going to repeat. Correct no kya? So for that cause our C++ provide us the control, or C++ provide us our the control structure or the control statements. Clear this point here? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ? ಸೊ here we can say that means as we know that a program is usually not limited to a sequence of instruction. That means here all whatever the programs are there, all those program not going to execute top to the bottom here. Sometime in program we need to take some of the decision in the program, and depend on the decision it going to jump to such part. Correct no kya? So sometime or during it process, or during the execution of the program, sometime we need to take some of the decision in the program. Depend on the decision we are going to jump to such part in this case here, or sometime here we need to repeat the coding again and again here. So because of this reason, just to all those to control each and everything, maybe sometime going to take a decision, we need to control the program. Correct no kya? So for that cause the C++ provide us the control structure or the control statements here. Clear this point here? Now what about the control structure or the control statement that can alter the flow of a sequence of instruction? That means the control statement is using to alter, the meaning of the alter, to change change the flow of a sequence of instructions. Okay, that means just to change the sequence of instruction. That means here sometimes the program not going to execute one after the another here. So just only if the program not going to execute one after the another, sometimes we need to take some correct decision in the program. So before going to take the correct decision in the program, we need to control the program here. So this is only called as the control statement or the control structures. So artha aita? ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ sequential structures here. So control statement clear now to everyone. What about the control statement? That means here the program not going to execute, correct no here? Sometime not going to execute one by one, sometime we need to take a decision. So just when you are going to take a decision, before that only we need to control the statement, we need to control the program. So C++ provide the control statements here. And later next one is about our sequential structures. So in our C++ program, this statement are executed sequentially, correct no? So maybe first of all statement K, then statement B, then statement again. Here we are not going to select one by one, maybe from the middle statement me, or later words statement K, later words statement again, not like that here. So how we are going to write this statement depend on this statement, all those statement executing one after the another, that only call as the in sequential manner. So we can say that the meaning of the sequential structure in C++ program here, the statement are executed sequentially in the order in which they are written. How we are going to write the program, in which order we are going to write this statement, in the order of the statement of the program, such a statement going to execute. Such programs are called as the sequential structures. So artha aita sequential structure helidre eno? So for example, ee example ನಾವು ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ first of all statement A execute ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದರ ನಂತರ statement B execute ಆಗ್ತದೆ, later next one statement again going to execute. So this is the meaning of the sequential structures here. How we are going to write the program, how this statement are going to write in sequential manner depend on the statement here. It going to execute the program, it going to execute the statement of the program, only called as the sequential structures here. And later next one, after completing the sequential structures, now third point is the compound statement or block. Okay, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು just complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, introduction complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, sequential structure ಇನ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು. Now third point just I selected this, the third concept is the compound statement or block here. So what about the compound statement or block? So here we can say that now in case of the compound statement or block, so here this statement 1, statement 2 here, statement 3, otherwise after completing we can use the flower bracket here. Now this is the example of the compound statement or block here. So we can say that now compound statement meaning ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? So here we can say that the group of statement, here how many statements are there? That means all those statements are in group, correct no? Not just only one statement is there, the statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So we can say that a group of statement that are separated by semicolon, correct no? How I separated all those statements? Totally 3 statements are there. So that all statements are separated by semicolon. Clear this one? And enclosed within curled braces, CURLED, curled braces here, that means only called as the flower bracket. Clear this one? Opening of the flower bracket and closing of the flower bracket is called as the compound statement or the block. So artha aita compound statement ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? So ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು block or the compound statement ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ? That means such block or compound statement have a group of statements. Okay, kya? Many group of statement, many statements here, and all those statements are separated by semicolon, okay, semicolon, and all those statements are enclosed within curled braces that only call as the flower bracket is called as the compound statement or the block here. And later next one, simple statement. So what about the meaning of the simple statement here? So the meaning of the simple statement, we can say that maybe any input statement, the input statement sin, for example n, I want to input into the variable n. So this is one example of the input statement. Or maybe we can say that assignment statement, a value is equal to 10, or we can say very simply n value is equal to 10. So this is the example for the assignment statement. First of all, ನಾನು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ example ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು input statement here. So we can say that the input, now we are in the concept of the simple statement. So the input statement, or maybe the example of the assignment statement, or maybe the example of the here we can say that the example of the output statement is only called as the simple statement. So simple, in simple meaning we can say that here for any single input statement, assignment statement, output statement is only called as the simple statement. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮೂರದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. So I given the example for 3 here. First one is the input statement, second one is the assignment statement. That means as we know that assignment means equal sign operator. So here we are assigning some value to the variable by using the equal sign. So n value is equal to 10 here. And lastly the example of the output statement. So we can say the meaning of this simple statement, any single input statement, output statement, assignment statement only called as the simple statement. So clear this one? Okay, now after completing this simple statement, now let's about our types of control statement. As we know that we already learnt all those explanation in the problem solving technique, and in this chapter also all those points are going to join. Okay, kya? So now just only I want to select the next side point, types of control statement, and such types of control statement only call as the selection or decision making statement. That means as we know that here depend on the selection, depend on the decision, we are going to jump to this part, correct no kya? As we know the sequence statement, selection statement as well as the iteration statement. So we can say that the types of control statement, the control statement only call as the selection or the decision making statement here. So C++ support 3 basic control statement or 3 basic selection or decision making statement are, first one is the sequence statement, second one selection statement, and third one is called as the iteration statement. Okay kya? Now the first point I want to select, the first point is the sequence statement here. So what about the sequence statement? As we know that as we already know the meaning of the sequential structures here. What I said in case of the sequential structure, as we know in our C++ program, the statements are executed sequentially in the order in which they are written. How we are going to write this statement in the same order, it going to execute this statement in the program. So this is the meaning of the sequential structures here. Now let's about our sequence statement here. So as we know that the sequence statement means it is the ability of the programming language here to execute the statement of a program, correct no here? As we know that where we are going to write this statement, so such a statement we are going to write inside the program, in the program here. So to execute the statement of a program one after the another from beginning to the end here. That means in case of the sequence statement we are not going to jump maybe to the left side, may not going to jump to the right side here, it going to jump from top to the bottom. So this is the meaning of the sequence statement. So artha aita sequence statement helidre ಏನು, that means here very simply, very clearly we can say that how we are going to execute this statement, how we are going to write this statement, how we are writing this statement or return this statement. In the same manner we are going to execute the statement of the program, that is only called as the from beginning to the end, that is called as one after the another. So in this example, first statement A is executed first, correct now? Then statement B is executed and the process will be continued until statement N will be executed, correct now? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ B ಅದರ ನಂತರ N ಹಾಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಯಾವುದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ A going to execute first, then statement B is executing here and later what's the last statement? That means the process is going to continue one after the another and last this statement again will be executed here. And there is always only one entry point into the structure, correct now? How we are going to make the entry into the program? So we can say that here this is the entry point of the program. So there is always only one entry point into the structure and one exit point from this structure here. As we know that entry going to make from this point here one by one here, and after completing the program going to exit from the program here. So there is always only one entry point and one exit point from the program here, and the flow is in one direction and straight forward, correct now? So whatever the flowing, the statement going to flow one by one, so the flow is in one direction and the direction is the straight forward, as we know that first statement A, then statement B, and finally the last statement, that is called as the statement again going to execute. So this is the meaning of the first control structure basic type. The type is the sequence statements, okay? The sequence statement here, and after completing the sequence statement, let's go for our next statement of, or we can say that the types of control statement. So the second type of the control statement is the selection statement, correct now? The selection statement, and such a selection statement only called as the decision making statement. Clear this point here, is only called as the decision making statement. Now let's, as we know that in our, okay, now before going to tell the types of the selection statement, let's the meaning of the selection statement. So the selection statement means it is the ability of a programming language to select the statement of a program based on some condition, correct now? How we are going to select, how we are going to execute the statement of the program, it depends on the condition. If the condition is true, then only it executing this statement. If the condition is false, not going to execute this statement, and maybe it going to check the next condition. So we can say that the meaning of the selection statement, that means it is the ability of the programming language select the statement for execution based on the condition. That means the condition maybe sometimes can be calculated as true or false. If the condition is true, sure executing this statement. If the condition is false, not going to execute the statement. So this is the meaning of the selection statement here. Now as we know that the selection statement is divided into 4 divisions, correct now? The selection statement is divided into 4 division, or we can say that the different selection statements are: the first type of the selection, simple if statement. Simple if statement, such a simple if statement only called as the if statement, okay kya? And also called as the one way branch decision structure. So now iga selection statement just concept ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಗ selection statement ನಂತರ now just I want to tell the point here, the types of this selection statement that only call as the different selection statements are here. First one is the simple if statement, second one is the if else statement, third one is the else if ladder. The else if ladder only called as the nested statement, and the fourth point is the switch statement. As we know each and every point already in our fifth chapter problem solving technique, but also just only some extra point I want to tell in case of our if statement with the program. Okay, so this concept or this chapter also going to use some of the program depend on the condition, depend on the concept here. So the first one is as we know that the first type of the selection statement only called as the if statement. So if statement is only called as the one way branch decision structure. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ simple if ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ, if statement ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ, and also called as the one way branch decision structure. So what about the one way branch decision structure? So here we can say that the structure is also called as the one way branch decision structure, and this structure helps the programmer, that means who are going to solve the program is called as the programmer here, whether a particular set of the statement should be executed or not. Correct? Look here, that means whether it depend on the condition. If the condition is true, then only it executing the statement here. So we can say that in case of the if statement, the important concept, the important meaning when it going to execute this statement. So here we can say, as we know the meaning, that means the one way branch decision structure, and the one way branch decision structure helps the programmer to decide whether a particular, maybe any type of the statement, okay, here whether a particular statement should be executed or not here. Correct me here, and the decision is based on the condition. Is it correct here? So depend on the condition. If condition true, then only executing this statement. So we can say that means the decision is based on the condition, and such condition can be calculated as true or false. Correct? No, maybe the condition is calculated as true or false. As we know that when it going to execute this statement, that means we know that it depend on the condition, it based on the condition, and such condition or the condition which can be calculated as a true or false here. So this is the meaning of the one way branch decision structure, only called as the simple if statement or the if statement. Now let's the general form of the simple if statement, the general form only called as the syntax. Okay, syntax, syntax here. So how to write the syntax of the simple if statement? So here the syntax we can say that if opening of the parenthesis condition, closing of the parenthesis statement 1 semicolon. Okay, if condition is true, then only executing this statement. That means the decision is based on the condition which can be calculated true. So when if the condition true, sure, executing this statement true or false. If the condition is false, not executing the statement here. Or other way, in other way we can write here. So if condition, opening of the parenthesis here, that means call as if opening of the parenthesis, condition, closing of the parenthesis, and next line we need to open the flower bracket here, and this is only called as the compound statement or block. Correct? Look here. So maybe compound statement means group of statement. Sometimes we are going to write the program or we are using the program. If the condition is true, block of statement going to execute. Okay, here, so that means block of statement means a group of statement and that are separated by semicolon. The block of statement that are separated by semicolon here and enclosed within curled braces, that means by using flower bracket only called as the our block or the compound statement. So clear the meaning of the simple if. So here, so all these are called as the, otherwise we can write this syntax or maybe this type of this syntax, but in this syntax just only one statement going to execute, but maybe sometime we are going to write the program. If the condition is true, a block of statement, many statement going to execute in the program. After completing some concept in case of the if statement, as we know that the if statement only call as the simple if and also call as the one way branch decision structure, and we know that when it going to execute this statement, so here we can say that a particular statement should be executed based on the condition, correct? No, if condition true, it executing this statement. So decision is based on the condition which can be calculated as true or false. Okay, now as we know that the syntax, the general form of the if statement, okay, the syntax is the if condition, and condition must be put inside the parentheses. Okay, if condition statement 1 semicolon. Now let's the example how we are going to write the statement. Okay, now the example, if, that means as like that only, it's a keyword, like that only we need to write. So if, now condition, what's the condition I want to use here? The condition is if n value is equal to 100. Okay, kya I am going to give some value, I am going to make a comparison to the n value kya. So if n value is equal to 100, then only it executing this statement. Maybe if you are inputting any value to the n, maybe 95, whether this statement going to execute? No, this statement not going to execute. But when this statement going to execute, if you are inputting the value, the n value is equal to 100. Okay, kya if such value, if the condition is true, then only it executing this statement. This statement we are going to execute by using the cout. Okay, and the operator we need to write as the stream insertion operator. As we know that whatever the message we are using, by using the double quotation, such message going to display on the screen. So what's this statement going to execute? That means n is 100. Okay, kya so if the condition true, then only it executing the statement. So this is the suitable example for the simple if. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು 95 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಗ ಅದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟ್ರೂ, ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು 100 ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಗ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಟು ದಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ದೆನ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾ? and later next one about the flow chart. So what about the flow chart? As we know that, so here I used two type of the syntax for our simple if here. So the first syntax is the if condition statement 1, correct? No, if condition statement 1 semicolon, and the second syntax I used as the if condition opening of the flower bracket statement 1 semicolon statement 2 semicolon statement 3 semicolon closing of the flower bracket. As we know that sometimes the condition executing one statement, single statement, but sometimes the condition executing block of statement, that only call as the group of statement. Okay kya? So all those here, and later now let's the flow chart how to write for first syntax of the simple if and the second syntax of the simple if here. So the first one, if condition is true, then statement 1 going to execute, correct? No, if the condition is true, statement 1 going to execute. If the condition is false, that is I written as the F. Okay, if the condition is false, not executing, that means the next statement going to close the stop the program here. The next statement means skip the control from the program. Clear this point here? So if the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, that means the control goes to the next statement in the program here. And this is the flow chart that is suitable for our group of statement. This second syntax of this simple if here. So if condition is true, here, then statement 1, statement 2, statement n. Okay, the group of statement going to execute. If the condition is false, that means sure the control goes to the next statement in the program. That means not going to execute here. Next statement means not going to execute, or maybe depend on the condition. Here if you are using the condition, again it going to match here. If it is true, then executing this statement. If no, means just going to the next condition here, next statement. So this is about our some point in case of the simple if, the first syntax flowchart and the second syntax, that means the simple if you can write in one way, otherwise by taking group of statements. So this is suitable syntax, the flowchart to our second syntax of the simple if here. Now let's some important note in case of the important note in case of our simple if. So the condition gives true or false result, correct? No, the condition gives true or false result. As we know that just only two results are there here, maybe depend on the condition. Sometimes condition true means just it is displaying this statement, if condition false not displaying this statement. So the condition gives true or false result here. The true value is equal to 1, okay, and the false value is equal to 0. Artha aita? True value 1, false value is equal to 0. The step 2. If condition is true, then sure it has value 1, correct? No? So what's the value of the true? True value is equal to 1. So if the condition is true, it has value 1, statement 1 is executed, correct? No? If the condition is, that means if the condition is true, if the condition is true, it has value 1, then sure statement 1 will be executed, or statement 1 is executed here. And later next one, the third point we can say that if the condition is false, correct here? If the condition is false, it has value 0, statement 1 is executing? No. So we can say that the statement 1 is not executed. Clear this point here? Is not executed here. So this is about our third point. And later the fourth point here we can say that, so first point clear now, that means the condition give only two points here. One is the true, second one is the false here. The true, that is equal to 1, correct? No, that means if the condition is true, it has value 1, statement 1 going to execute. If the condition is false, it has value 0, statement 1 not going to execute here. And the fourth point, it's the most important point, how we are going to write the condition. So maybe I want to write the condition means, here we can say that here the condition must be put inside the parentheses, okay? Kya ee bracket ina olagade, the common bracket ina olagade condition annu baribeku. Yavde ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ parentheses. So this one is about our fourth point here. And the last point we can say that about this statement 1 will be executed only when the condition is true, and sometime maybe a single statement or sometime maybe a block of statement, correct? No, we already know how the syntax of the single statement or how the syntax of the block of statement. So this is the syntax of the single statement here, and the syntax of the block of statement. If condition, opening of the flower bracket, statement 1 semicolon, statement 2 semicolon, statement again semicolon, closing of the flower bracket. So nan single ಮತ್ತೆ block ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, clear this one? So we can say that statement 1 will be executed only when the condition is true, and sometime maybe a single statement or block of statement. And the last point we can say that if the condition is false here, that means the control skip the statement 1, correct? No, condition false idre statement 1 execute ಆಗ್ತದ? No. So we can say that if the condition is false, the control skip the program, or we can say that the compiler or control skip the statement 1, correct? No, kya? The statement 1 here, and then it going to execute the next statement in the program, that is called as the statement 2. That means maybe it going to check to the next point here. If the condition true, it executing the statement, but also if the condition not true, again it going to move to the next statement to execute here. So like that it going to work in case of the simple if statement. So clear this point? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? Fourth point, fifth point ಮತ್ತೆ sixth point, totally 6 points I said, or very important note of the simple if. As we know that true 1, false 0. Okay, if result true, statement 1. If result false, statement 1 not going to execute. And how we are going to write the condition? Must put inside the parenthesis here, and statement 1 will be executed. Correct no kya? Or maybe sometimes the statement includes single statement or block of statement here. And last point, if statement 1 not going to execute means sure the control skip this statement 1. If the condition is false, then sure statement 1 not going to execute, so the control skip. Okay kya? The statement 1 and then execute the next statement in the program, that is called as the statement 2. That only I written as the next statement, next statement. Okay, now let's the last thing about the program to find the largest of two numbers using if statement. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರಿಬಹುದು? ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್? ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೂ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ಟೂ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ವಿಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾ? ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೂ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ if statement, as we know that whatever the program going to start by using the header file, that is iostream.h, or maybe I want to add CLR, SCR, then sure I'm using the header file conio.h here. Or maybe in program I want to write end line and set w, then I'm using the header file iomanip.h. Okay kya? Or maybe in case of the mathematical function you can use the header file the mathematical function you can use the header file math.h. So depend on the function, depend on the variable, what are the variable or what's the function we are using in the program, depend on them we are going to write the header file. Okay, and later next one, the program going to start by using the void main. Okay kya? The void main, the meaning of the void main means now we are going to start the program and the flower bracket indicates that it opening of the program here. Now after opening of the program, now just only I am using the data type, and here I am using the number as the whole number. So to use whole number, sure we are using the data type. The data type is the integer, correct no? And the numbers A, B, so all those numbers separated by comma here, and also I want to use the large. Okay kya? That means here I am going to find out whichever is the largest or the greatest number. So the int A, comma B, comma large, ಈ ಮೂರು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. And finally this statement going to terminate by using the semicolon. Okay kya? And later next one, as we know that we already written the header file conio.h, so I am using CLR SCR semicolon, CLR SCR. Okay, open close semicolon here, and later to clear the screen, now I want to display one message on the screen. So when such message going to display on the screen, I am just entering some value into the variable A and B. So the message I want to display as the enter two numbers. Enter two numbers. Maybe you want to enter the number one after the another. That means sure we are using the end line. How we are using the end line? First of all, we need to close the double quotation. Correct? No, whatever the double quotation we open, such one we need to close. Then use the operator end line semicolon. If you want to display all those value in one line only, don't want the end line. Okay kya? So just only I want to, when it going to display the message, enter two numbers. On that time only I am entering 10 and 20 in one line only. So I am not using the enter button. ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 20 ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? ಸೊ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟು ನಂಬರ್. Now just by using the function, as we know that the function name is the sin function, CIN, and the operator using as the string extraction operator, and here I am using entering value for both A and B by using the method like our cascading of input operator. The meaning of cascading of input operator means by using single SIN statement using multiple stream extraction operator is called as the cascading of input operators. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಆಗ ನಾನು ಎ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿ ಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ by using the function like our SIN function. Okay, kya? Now just only it's my assumption. Okay, now it is the assumption the large value is equal to a. Clear this one? That means you should remember it while going to write. How we are going to write? Large is equal to a, but you have to remember it here. The a value going to initialize to the large, so large value is equal to maybe the a value. When it displaying the value, enter two numbers. I am using the value for a the 10 and value for b 20. Okay, kya? So a value is equal to 10, b value is equal to 20. Now it is just only the assumption. Okay, kya? I am assuming the largest value is equal to a here. So the large value is equal to a, that means large is equal to 10. Now just only the assumption, still that we didn't use the condition, and later I am using the condition. The condition is the if b value greater than large, whichever is the largest. Still here in our assumption large value is equal to a, so large value is equal to a. What's the value of a? The a value is equal to 10, so large value is equal to 10. It is just only the assumption. Later words I am using the condition. How I am using the condition? If b value greater than large, b value is 20, 20 value greater than large, so large value is equal to a. Large means that is the 10. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ large ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 10 ಇದೆ. Okay kya? So I am using 10. Now 20 value is greater than 10. Whether 20 value is greater than 10? Yes, it is greater than 10. If the condition is true, then sure display this statement. That means large value is equal to b. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? Clear this point here? So here we can say that first of all just only the assumption I am using large value is equal to a. After that I am using the condition if b value greater than large, b value is greater than large. If such condition is true, then execute large value is equal to b here. So clear this point here? So depend on the value, what's the value we used into the variable or in the variable, depend on them, it displaying the statement. Okay, result here. So lastly I want to display the answer. So see out and largest is equal to largest is equal to, I am opening the double quotation, largest is equal to closing of the double quotation. Again I am using the operator and large. Okay kya? The large and this semicolon. So ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Depend on the condition. Largest is equal to large. Large means here, that means our 20. Okay, clear this point here? 20 in this case here. So and later finally get ch open close semicolon closing of the flower bracket. Maybe ನಮ್ಮ a value 10, b value 20, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟೂ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? 10 and 20. It is just only the assumption large value is equal to a here, but later words we are using the condition. When you are using the condition, sure we can say that 10 value is less when you are going to compare with the 20. So displaying the result as the largest is equal to b. Okay kya? Largest is equal to large in this case. Clear this point here? So b value is equal to large. ಹೀಗೆ assign ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Clear this one? From our right to the left. So largest value, b value is equal to large. That means it's going to display as a large value here. Maybe in this case, maybe here a value is equal to 30, but b value is equal to 20. Okay kya? So it is just only the assumption. Large value is equal to a. That means 30. Large is equal to 30. It is just only the assumption. Later words when you are going to use the condition, okay, the b value is 20, 20 value is greater than 30, 20 value is greater than 30 here. No, the condition is false. So lastly we can say that large is equal to 30 only. A is equal to 30, so large is equal to 30. So it's going to display largest is equal to 30. So whatever or whichever is the largest, it's going to display such answer. So clear this point here. So like that we can write the program for our simple if. So just only it is a very important program also, the question to find the largest of two number using the if statement. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.